So it is time for our Lifetime Achievement Award. And just have a seat for a moment. And wanted to thank Laura so much. It's great to have additional perspectives. I like the question and answer particularly. Thank you so much. So for the Lifetime Achievement Award, this year we have something a little bit different. We have co-award winners, and so we have some co-presenters, and I get to introduce both of our presenters. And so we don't do too much up and down kind of stuff. I will introduce both of the women first, and I will let Sydney introduce the actual award winner, so I won't steal her thunder. We'll concentrate first just a moment on our presenters. So I will introduce two women that I know well and respect a lot. Sydney McNiff Johnson is a senior advisor in Dentons Global Energy Practice, a law practice, and she likes to say a lot that she's not a lawyer. And I think I said earlier, you don't have to be a lawyer to make rain, so that she does that. Sydney advises clients on domestic and international energy, environmental, and government solutions, and she's got a particular focus on bringing new energy technologies to market. Sydney was also appointed by the Interior Secretary to a 6-year term on the Board of Directors to the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and she also serves on the boards of ACOR and the Women's Council on Energy and Environment. Sydney's also an active member on the U.S. Nuclear Infrastructure Council, which she helped co-found in 2002, and I think that's an important reminder to us that our Clean Energy Initiative includes nuclear as well as a number of the other energies that we often talk about. We have a very broad clean energy definition. And Melanie Kenderdine. Melanie is currently the principal of Energy Futures Initiative and a non-resident senior fellow at the Atlantic Council, which is a Washington think tank. But before that, Melanie served at the Department of Energy from 2013 to 2017 as both the energy counselor to Secretary Moniz, who we heard from yesterday, as well as the director of the DOE's Office of Energy Policy and Systems Analysis, which she set up, and where she was my boss and mentor, as well as spending a fair amount of time assembling a fabulous team of analysts, many of which were women in energy. And prior to her service at DOE, she helped establish the MIT Institute Energy Initiative, where she served as executive director. And with that, I am going to hand over to Sydney to do a brief introduction. We will have some virtual feedback from our awardees, which you will understand better after Sydney goes. Right, okay, right. So a bit of talking from Sydney, a bit from Melanie, and then some virtual comments from our presenter.
Oh, well, thank you so very much, Carol. And I'd like to thank everybody for attending here today. We've got a lot of rock star women in this room, and one of them is Martha. Martha Broad and her team here at MIT have really just done such a fabulous job, and I think we should all give her a round of applause. So also to the Department of Energy's team, Carol, and your team, and everyone here who's here from Stanford, 7 miles from my hometown. It's just great to be here, so thank you so very much. So it's an honor, and it's really a privilege to introduce one of we have a co-recipient, a team of 2 women this year for the Lifetime Achievement, and Melanie will be introducing our second awardee, so I'll let her be secret for a moment. But Our first co-recipient is a dear friend of mine for over 30 years. I'm blessed and honored to consider her a friend. Unfortunately, these two remarkable women are not here today. Hint, they're on Capitol Hill. And because they're busy actually doing our nation's energy work. And we've talked a lot here today about bravery. And Senator Lisa Murkowski, I think, exemplifies bravery and courage to a whole new level that many of us hopefully will aspire towards. Senator Murkowski is the first Alaskan-born senator. In fact, she was born in Alaska in 1957, and Alaska became a state in 1959. So how's that for being the first person born and the first woman senator from the state of Alaska, which is so cool. Some of you may or may not know that I've spent about 10 years of my life in Alaska, so it's an extraordinarily remarkable place. It's a huge, vast place. It's you know, I always like to say that Alaska was taken and stretched this way, and then that way. And, you know, all the resources, energy, fish, everything in the world, it's all there on a remarkable scale. So it's an extraordinary place if you haven't been. So Senator Murkowski is the chairman of the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee, as most of you know, which is a marvelous thing for not only women, but for America's energy and America's energy resources. She also serves as the head of the Interior and Environment Appropriations Subcommittee. So here we have not only a super powerful woman who's from a state that has all of these resources, but those resources are both energy and the environment. And I think that's what's critical to us as we look towards the clean energy future. We have to be mindful of both of those. And Senator Murkowski embodies both of those. And I've spent a tremendous amount of time with her in the great outdoors, fishing, skiing, and doing different things. And she outfishes all the guys. And I'm really proud of her. So she does strike a balance in her state, watching that over the years, the EPA and at times has maybe gone a little farther than maybe she thought that would be appropriate. And I think she's been brave to stand up to them. And she's also very concerned that the economic concerns of her state and the environmental concerns are looked at the same time. So I commend her to all of you for her bravery, her courage, her lifetime achievement of being in the Senate as long as she has, and the great work that she's done. And now, to give the spoiler, she works across the aisle with our other co-recipient, who Melanie will introduce. So let's give a round of applause first for Senator Murkowski, to the inspiration she is to all of us, and I hope you all get to meet her.
So much, Sydney. And I wanted to say, geez, another thank you to Martha and to Carol, Lee, Bob Armstrong, all of the ambassadors that are here today. We've worked very closely together for many years now, and it's really a lot of dear friends in the room, former staff people from both DOE and Mighty. That I'm very excited to see. I wanted to give a call out to Debbie Cadian out there as well. Debbie has been organizing this all out front. When she saw me walk out after lunch, she said, "I know you want sweets, right?" And she went to get me a cupcake in the kitchen. But Debbie's done a great job, and thanks to her. Sydney ably introduced Senator Murkowski, and I'm here to present the award to Senator Cantwell, the other co-awardee. I would like to say that I have been in and out of Washington for 35 years. And we were talking in our ambassador deliberations, and I said, never in my lifetime in the last 35 years did I think that I would see two women as the chair and ranking member of the Senate Energy Committee. I think it is a spectacular thing. They work very closely together. They don't always agree. They're having a disagreement on ANWR, but they agree on many, many issues: energy efficiency, most importantly, climate change. And I appreciate Sydney's remarks about Senator Murkowski and her bravery on climate change. Senator Cantwell is a stalwart, strong supporter of efforts to mitigate climate change. She has ably represented the state of Washington in the U.S. Senate since 2000, which means she's won 3 statewide elections in Washington state, ranking member on the Energy Committee, but also Commerce, Science, Transportation, Finance, Indian Affairs, and Small Business and Entrepreneurship. So she is representing women on those committees as well, which I think is terrific. She's been a Senate leader on biofuels research, expanding clean energy tax incentives, successful legislation to modernize our grid, and advancing ocean acidification science. She's also worked on cleaning up Hanford. Hanford is a DOE site that is one of the most polluted sites on the planet, where we did a lot of put a lot of nuclear waste when we were developing our nuclear weapons capability, and she's been a tireless advocate for cleanup of Hanford. She worked very closely with Secretary Moniz when we were at the department, and they worked, as Secretary Moniz worked with Senator Murkowski as well. I believe she was quoted in Politico or one of the newspapers saying, "I just love Secretary Moniz." Senator Murkowski was. And one of my favorite things about Senator Cantwell is our office at DOE did 2 quadrennial energy reviews, and Senator Cantwell did a dramatic reading of the QER on the floor of the Senate. And so we walked by the Secretary's office one evening, and she was reading the QER on the floor of the Senate. And one other thing that I would say about Senator Cantwell, and we're going to see a video, I think, from Senator Murkowski. I'm going to read something from Senator Cantwell. And a dear friend of mine and person I work closely with on the Hill, Angela Becker-Dittman, was my contact on Senate Energy for Senator Cantwell's office. Angela is leaving, and she is being replaced by M.L. Wagner, another dear friend of mine. One thing I would say, they're caught in the transition. That's why I think they haven't had done a video. And I did call up ML when I found out that that she was going to be taking over for Angela, and was kind of embarrassed that I called her up and actually needed something before she had even started. But the one thing I would say about that transition is she is transitioning from one powerful woman staff person to another one. And so Senator Cantwell appears to me to be very mindful of that in her selection for her committee staff. So Senator Cantwell is the other woman recipient here, and we're going to hear a little, watch a video from Senator Murkowski, and then I'll read a few words from Senator Cantwell. Thank you.
Hello to all of you attending the C3E Women in Clean Energy Symposium. I'm Lisa Murkowski from the great and beautiful state of Alaska. I am sorry that I'm not able to celebrate with you this evening, but I'm grateful to be honored as a co-recipient of your Lifetime Achievement Award. Receiving this award, along with my ranking member on the Energy and Natural Resources Committee, Senator Maria Cantwell of Washington, is special. We've led our committee together for nearly 3 years now, and we're making significant progress on a range of policies that promote innovation, efficiency, and renewable energy. I also want to commend your focus on making sure that women are involved in STEM fields and clean energy, because those are areas where we've got our work cut out for us. As many of you know, the National Science Foundation found that women represent just 28% of the science and engineering workforce, and that is simply not good enough. Now, I also work in a field that has been traditionally dominated by men. The Senate is at an all-time high of 21%. Believe me, we have some room to add to our ranks here as well. We all recognize these women bring a different perspective to problem solving, and so it's imperative, whether in your fields or mine, if we want to find the best and most innovative solutions to our biggest challenges, the female perspective must be present and active at the decision table. In leading the Energy and Natural Resources Committee, Senator Cantwell and I, we work well together. And we don't always agree on everything, but we always try to do our best to work together and to achieve real results for the people that we serve. Since we assumed our roles at the head of the committee in 2015, we've been able to move forward on a wide range of energy policies. This year, we introduced a new and improved version of our broad bipartisan energy bill. This is S-1460. We now call it the Energy and Natural Resources Act. Our bill will reauthorize much of the Office of Science at DOE, key programs like RPE, and continue to promote the fuels and technologies that we need to make our energy cleaner and cleaner by the year. We're ready to pass this bill. I would ask that you add your voices in support of it. It's been a decade since we passed a major energy bill. Our effort is important not just for our environment, but also for our economic and our national security. So thank you for your help in this. Hope you all have a wonderful evening there in Cambridge. Thank you again for this award and the recognition. But thank you also for being role models for young women and inspiring them to work in STEM and clean energy. Thanks for all you do. Take care.
So I'm going to read Senator Cantwell's remarks. I did forget to thank Justin. He's the one taking photos all the time. If I look fat or old in any of them, I'm going to come after you. Okay, so don't print them. All right. Anyway, somebody else that I've known here for a long time at MIT. Here's Senator Cantwell's remarks. I'm honored to be receiving this Lifetime Achievement Award, and sorry I'm unable to join you all to accept it in person. I would like to thank Stanford, MIT, and the Department of Energy for the recognition. Okay, this is the weird part. Thank you, Melanie Kenderdine, okay, and Sydney McNiff Johnson for your introductions. I know I'm in good company with the other women who are receiving awards today for their leadership in clean energy and who have received this honor in the past. This award is especially meaningful because C3E is devoted to empowering and educating women in energy, focusing on encouraging women to pursue careers in the energy field, and recognizes women's accomplishments in clean energy and promoting their leadership. While women have made progress in the energy industry, they remain disproportionately underrepresented in the field. I'm going to deviate for a second. I was at an event with Paula the other day in San Antonio, and I counted the number of women and men at the table. There were 11 women, 14 men. It was one of the best ratios I've ever seen. Yes, they make up substantially less than half of the workforce across the energy sector and continue to be underrepresented in key leadership positions. Women are essential to filling this growing demand, and their leadership and participation will support the expansion of the clean energy sector and drive economic growth. Even despite the growing number of women educated in new technologies and science, there remains a glass ceiling to their career advancement. Today's event is focused on the people who are enabling the clean energy transition. You all know that we can't afford to replace aging infrastructure with anything but smart infrastructure. Our electric grid, energy pipelines, and energy infrastructure all need to incorporate new smart technology so that our communities operate more efficiently, create economic opportunities, reduce pollution, and improve health and quality of life. This is a huge economic opportunity that women should be part of. I want to close by thanking all of you for your commitment to C3E and continually working to promote women in energy gender equity in the energy field. I am proud to work alongside you as we continue to celebrate the women who are making incredible achievements in clean energy. Thank you very much. Thanks.